Good morning, everyone. We are in Odaiba today, and we are attending a car show in Tokyo. Not a meet, not just random spots. This is supposed to be a car show with nearly 1,000 cars of all sorts, and we'll see what we get, and we'll make a video out of it. Look at what the parking looks like, just the spectator parking. There's not many people around, which, is that a good thing, a bad thing? Am I in the wrong spot? Am I too early? I'm 30 minutes after open. By the way, how I heard about this was that I was on the side of the street looking at some classic trucks, and this girl who owned one of the trucks told me to come over here at the car show. She's going to be here, and to come over here, and there's going to be a lot of cars. This was all in very broken Google Translate, so I really hope that I got the right place, location, etc. I guess we're going to find out. All these trees around me over here all had the cherry blossoms blooming the last time I was here. This is where I took the now quite well-known video of me just walking through all of the cherry blossoms. I guess you could say the petals, maybe. Oh, there's a lineup to get in? Oh, okay, it's moving, and I mean, I guess so, right? You gotta buy your ticket. So this is the right place. Looks like it is, in fact, mostly American, but we'll take a look and we'll see what we get. Hopefully this music doesn't catch a copyright here. We'll try to stay away from the speakers. Looks like it's a blown 540 Shafroth engine. Some of the best engines around, especially for racing. Is this a manual? It is not. Still cool nonetheless. This looks like a resto mod with what I assume is an LS1 with 241 heads. There's only LS1s that came with the 241 heads. We'll keep looking around. We'll have to skip through quite a bit here because there really might be 1,000 or so cars. Very nice Super Sport, two-door no post. Very nice. Another resto mod here with an LS engine inside with the carbureted intake. So he's running an LS with the carb setup. Potentially fuel injected carb setup though, because he has the fuel rails like that and the injectors, and it might be one of those kits where it's a fuel injected carb. And here too, aftermarket AC system that they put. A lot of them seem to be putting the aftermarket AC system in here as well. There's the AC that's hooked up, likely because of how hot it gets. '69 Charger RT, you could tell because the '69 has the split in the middle. The 70 does not. Aftermarket, looks like Indy heads. Very cool. Looks like a blown small block from what we could see here. Once again, AC. Everybody seems to have the AC systems in their car. Our first C2, this is a Restylmont C2 with an LS3 engine inside. This is a 64 because a 63 coupe would have the split in the back, but it's still 64 because it does not have open vents. Very cool with the LS aftermarket engine inside. Full front accessory kit. Running a 67 big block Stinger hood. And what I assume is likely a 6-speed manual, maybe a T56 or a TR6060. You see the sparkle paint with the flakes. Very popular that people repainted this in the 70s and in the 80s with the sparkles. This looks to be a rat rod with a big block, as you can see from the size of the engine. Very cool. For sale. That price is way too high for this car. That is way too expensive. It's for sale for 8 million yen, which is 80,000 Canadian dollars approximately, and it has an LT1. No, that's way too expensive. It has a drivetrain from a late C4 Corvette, but even in this finish, I think that's, I mean, unless that's the market here. For those who don't know, the Pantera or the De Tomaso Panteras had the 351 Clevelands that were put in them, and that was used as their drivetrain. So you had the screaming V8 right behind you.
今回、ムーンライトのコラボパッケージで販売している、チャーハンセット、こちらも大好評で絶賛発売中です。
They even brought in the police vehicles. They brought in the cruisers. That's a sight for PTSD for many foreigners if they would come here and see this. Speaking of foreigners, I think I really am the only Westerner here. I haven't seen a single one. I mean, it makes sense, right? Why would you come here to see American cars? But at the same time, I just want to see how they do it and to see how they present the vehicles, and it's just always different when you do. I mean, you can do the same thing at home as you do here. It's just always different. A 440 Magnum RT. The only thing higher than that is the 446 pack with the 3x2, and then there's the Hemi, 426 Hemi. We have here a 340 Cuda. Very nice. We have another Dodge. This car is quite butchered. I can't even identify it. I thought it was a Barracuda. I thought it was a 71, 74. Could be wrong. GFL, guys. Gangsta for life. GFL. Very interesting brand here in Japan. Gangsta for life. I have a four-door Bel Air 1957 wagon. 4 doors with the wagon in the back. Very interesting. I would like to see if we could find a 57 two-door. That would be very cool. And it is the 210 with the short fins, or not fins, but the short moldings over here on the quarters. Old school style flathead Ford engine here in this rat rod slash unfinished early 30s, late 20s car. But flathead engine, just that is the head. The rest is all block. And as what looks to be a distributor cap or whatever that may be, there's a half can of cola. Two-door, very nice. The retro set that you could get, because back in the days when you went to the drive-thru, they would give you the meal and they would hand it to you like this, and they would clip it onto the window and you would have your meal here. So this is just a replica kit with the In-N-Out burger, the A&W root beer, the burger and the fries. Little cool accessory that you could put on your classic American vehicle. Here we have a two-door convertible. Very high in value if this is a real convertible and not a hardtop that was chopped. I believe this is a 55. Very nice nonetheless to have a 55 convertible. And here is a two-door hardtop. And this looks to be a 56, and it's a hardtop because there's no B pillar. So you have the A pillar, no B pillar, so you can pass your hand through, and that's how you know it's a hardtop. And this one is extremely clean, definitely restored. This is a very clean example of a two-door 1956 hardtop. In recent years, I'd say in the past 7-8 years, the two doors like this, Impalas and cars of these style, especially two-door and two-door convertible, these ones have drastically gone up in value. I believe this is a 61, that might be a 62. I could be wrong with the years, but they drastically went up in value because everybody's turning them into lowriders and they just became more collectible, especially the two-door, since the production numbers are much different. But all of these are all two doors. Very cool to see. It's more with the aftermarket AC. Looks like a vintage air system. Power brakes as well. The entire front pulley kit is very nicely done. It looks like everybody seems to have a very nice front pulley kit. I wonder if that's maybe because of regulation that they need to do that. Sunroof and another convertible here. No AC in this one, but there is power steering, power brakes. Very cool. I believe that is the Fuji TV tower. We've already visited that in one of our videos. And at the car show here, train in the back. You just don't see this at American car shows, that's for sure. Not with the train. It's all highways. You would see a lot of highways. That's for sure. And right there we could see the airbag system, hydraulic air. And that's what drops it down, brings it up. Still more cars. There are some food trucks here. Oh look, there's a hot dog stand. I assume there's probably going to be some other burger stands and all that sort of thing, considering the large amount of what they call import cars. Here the US cars are imports, so they're called the import cars, while for us imports generally mean JDM or European vehicles. More hot dog stands. Now we have a meat shop. There was a Mexican stand, or I think it's burrito of some sort. Here's pulled pork. I'm curious what they're asking for pulled pork. Pulled pork and potato is about 10 Canadian dollars. That's not that bad. I mean, I don't know what the portion is, but it's not that bad. Here we have a what looks to be a 350 small block, or maybe even a 327 that was put into this vehicle. Nonetheless, that must be a lot of torque in comparison to what it usually has. And it fits quite nice. If we look even at the frame and you look at the mounts, it looks like it fits quite nice. The headers as well clear very well. The steering goes right through. Overall, it's very good fitting. If you look carefully, you can see the MSD 6AL system that's over there, likely for heat prevention, so to keep it out of the engine bay, and likely for space as well, or else you would have to mount it on the firewall, sort of like what we have in the Bel Air, where it's mounted on the firewall, and here instead they mounted it to the trunk in the back, and so you just wire it to the front. I will say that a lot of the cars here aren't necessarily perfect. A lot of them have patina, but it adds a lot of character because a lot of these parts, they're just refurbished, or you could tell, even for the stainless steel, a lot of it was sanded down and redone. Chrome was left the way I assume they originally imported the car in. So there's a lot of spotted chrome. There's a lot of vehicles that perhaps have misaligned doors and panels, sort of like how they originally had. It's cool to see how that was kept but maintained. So none of the cars here really are trashed. None of them have perforation or anything of that sort. Underneath, they all look very clean. And regardless of how old the car is or the engine or how tired it looks, it seems like everybody gets that vintage air kit installed. Maybe because of the warmth, maybe because of regulation. Whatever it is, it's not something that's very common in Canada. Though. We don't really see that too often, the vintage air kits in the classics.
そしてお食事をされる方もたくさん増えてくると思いますので、お食事を提供しているケータリングのブース様、準備の方お願いいたします。そして、皆さん、水分補給だけ必ずお願いいたします。両面ブースでもミネラルウォーターの販売を行っていますので、コラボマスクにもらっております。
Imagine the footage you could get with that. I mean, on the side of the wheel, rolling, the stability. It'd be nice to have a setup like that. It seems to be a culture here to have these vans, these big long vans. I don't really see them anywhere, but here, in this level of cleanliness, I mean, the cars look like they're resprayed. I don't know if they live in them, if they're just nomadic individuals, they go around camping, living in, but these are really clean, all of them. Super clean. They have the wheels, they're all modded. Stainless steel trim, chrome trim, fresh paint on this one. All of them. These are very nice looking camper vans. Yeah, they're all super clean. It seems to be a thing here. There's just, they're everywhere. I wonder if it's a real GTR, but it is a slammed Skyline, two-door Skyline. There we could see the air suspension kit that is dropping it this slow. Looks to have a bit of a roll cage in the back. Oh, it does have a 4-point roll cage. Very cool.
The fucking ugly left-hand like US
やっぱここが本当はいいんだけどね。そうなんです。夏も冬もさ。真ん中につけたんですよ。
And more of these vans slammed as well. Once more, this seems like it's a culture on its own. This is something that might be native to here because I don't see this in North America. Not in American or not in Canadian car shows. I don't see the slammed vans of this sort. I think there really is over 1,000 cars here because as I keep walking I realize that I've missed so many rows, so I'm trying to go back and make up for them, but it could really be that there's over 1,000. Once more, all the lowrider Impalas with their air suspension kits in the back. All of them 2 doors, some convertible. Very interesting to see. This culture truly is worldwide with the lowrider Impalas. 1928 maybe? I think this is a 1928 with a small block Chevy engine. Immediately you could tell from afar just because the distributor, if it was a Ford engine, would be in the front. Because in the back, you know it is a Chevrolet engine. Very cool 1934 3-window coupe chop top. Very nicely done, and right next to it there is a 2-door Bel Air hardtop in my favorite color. So this is what I mean, like my Bel Air, is that here there is no post. This is just a window framing, so there's no B pillar. So here you'd be able, if all the windows are down, you could pass your hand through. So there's the A pillar, no B pillar, and the C pillar. And that's how you know it is a hard top. And it has the long stainless steel trim here, and it has the gold emblems. So that's how you know it is a Bel Air 1957 two-door hardtop. And in the front here it would have these in gold and those in gold. And that's how you would be able to tell it is a 57. But this is my favorite color for the 57 Bel Airs. This is what I mean when I say it has patina, is that a lot of these parts could potentially be original or just aged. They may have been cleaned or brushed to some extent, but there's only so much you could do to bring the shine back in chrome. Usually you just have to clean it off and re-chrome it, since chrome is just a plating. Stainless steel, you could sand it down, you could rebuff it. All this is stainless steel. This is well stainless steel. Overall, still a very nice car. Really, really nice car. There's a few bubbles in the paint, but nothing crazy. Very, very cool car. Here we have all the different Tri-5s. This is another hardtop here. As you can see, this one is not a hardtop. It has the B pillar. This one is a hardtop. This one as well. And the other one is convertible. It's interesting how they all get the 55, 56. They all get the numbered plates. All of them. They all seem to get their numbered plates, which is cool to see. 56. And here is another 57 two-door hardtop. This one's a lot cleaner. This one's definitely been restored. And immediately you could tell it is a two-door hardtop because once more when we get over here you pull all the windows down and you could pass your hand. So there's no B pillar. I think I've said that maybe 4 or 5 times, but by now you should know that's the difference between a hardtop and a sedan. Regardless if it's 2 or 4-door, you could have the 4-door hardtop. The 4-door hardtop will be a 4th door, and we might see one. It'll be a 4th back row of doors, and there would be no pillar here. The inside is not original since there seems to be aftermarket systems there. Aftermarket AC it looks like, and radio. Very clean car. And it has the gold emblems as well as the Bel Air would have with the gold grille. Here's another hot rod with what looks to be a big block Chevy engine with a high-rise intake double carb. Very cool. And another thing too is that even though it's a Ford, they put the Chevy engine inside, usually for reliability purposes or ease of getting parts. But we see this in North America as well. And we have an aftermarket LS engine in this car right here. Very nice. Wilwood disc brakes, Wilwood power disc brakes, aftermarket dual electric fan rad, LS engine, potentially a manual. Nope, automatic. Nonetheless, very interesting. Here we have another LS conversion. Very cleanly done. Fits very, very nicely. Fuel injection with the power steering. So it looks like there's the power steering. It looks like there's the aftermarket brake kit, power brakes. Can't really see much more than that. It's a tight squeeze in here despite the size of an LS engine. An LS engine, even though it'll have the same displacement as a small block and more, it's physically much smaller, and that's why putting them in these classic cars is usually the better bet, but also way more expensive. You can just take a video like that. Do you have a car?
No.
No? So it's only your sister who builds the cars?
Oh yeah.
Are you guys all family? Or friends? Family? Okay.
Our dad and mom
Ah, okay.
and sister.
And sister.
Yeah, she wants to speak English.
Oh,
No.
okay. Good, you practice. Practice. It's okay, I don't speak Japanese.
Yeah,そうだ。
I don't even practice. I've been here three times and I don't speak Japanese.
Where did you go in Japan?
Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya,
めっ
Kyoto,
ちゃ行ってる。
Hiroshima, and Nara and Fukuoka.
Wow.
Yeah.
She asked when will you come to Japan again?
It costs money. It's not cheap. I come from Canada,
Where are you living in?
Montreal, Quebec. It's far from Vancouver.
Oh, Vancouver.
Vancouver's on the west, Montreal's on the east.
あ、一番あっち側だ。
Yeah, near New York.
Wow.
Near New York.
カナダまあ行く。
Yeah.
She want to go Canada.
Maybe だけど。
Maybe.
Come during the summer. It's nice outside like
夏
this.
に来た方がいい。
Yeah. Don't come in the winter. In
冬に
the
遊ばない。
in the winter
北海道
it's
みたいって言ってた。Same.
コールド
Similar to 北海道.
yes, similar to Hokkaido. It gets cold in the winter. I'm gonna keep walking, check out all the cars.
見てくるねって。
It's nice to see you guys. Yeah, so that was the person who invited me. So I was looking at her truck on the side of the road on the Ginkgo Street where I've spent quite a bit of time. And then I just asked, like, where can I see more? And then she said, well, come to this show. And that's how I heard of this show, or else I would have never known that there was this going on. '70 Cuda with the 440, the shaker hood. Don't know enough about these to give you the full description. It looks like it's an automatic, so it likely has the 727 torque flight transmission. There we have a C1 and a C3, another C3. We're gonna spin around and get back to those once we finish this row here. Very clean example. I believe this is a 1959 two-door Coronet. The interior is also complete, a little bit aftermarket. Nonetheless, very nice car. I think it's a 59. Don't quote me on that. The amount of misinformation I'm spreading in this video is incredible. I think it's 59. Here we have a 69 or a 70 Roadrunner. We have the Air Grabber 440 hood. I would like to see what's under the hood, but unfortunately it doesn't look like we'll be getting that in the pink color. Very popular color at the time. Hi.
Matching color.
Yeah, very, very nice. What engine is it? The 440 Magnum?
440.
440 Magnum, 6-pack? Magnum? Very nice, very nice. Original color? Original?
Matching color.
Matching.
Matching.
Wow, really nice. Really nice. Really like it. Nice job. Very nice. Matching drivetrain, matching color. Very, very cool. Very nicely done. Very nicely put together. Whoops, I just walked into a bunch of people's photos. That was a bit rude. 55 to 57 Thunderbird. Really like these cars. With the automatic, I believe it's a 2-speed automatic, 3-speed manual. Once more, I could just be spreading misinformation. Very cool car. And here we have what looks to be a 1970 Challenger with the hood that comes off like that. once more with what looks like the 727 3-speed automatic transmission. GT500s, GT350. And we have a 4-door wagon Bel Air in my favorite color. And this one has post. It's not a Nomad. Nomad would be 2-door with no post. Very cool. El Camino 427 El Camino, assuming it's the original engine in this one. 427 El Camino. There is 3 bikes in the back. Very cool. 3 bikes in the back, spare tire. Very cool. If this is a real Yenko SC, you never know. I mean, could very well be, but chances are it's just a clone. This would be very cool if it had the original 427 on the inside. Here we have another 69 Corvette. 69 Camaro. 69 Camaro next to what looks to be a 68 and a 67 and a 67 after that. So we have 67, 67, 68, and a 69. Very cool to see. Are any of them in the manual? They look to all be automatic. Still cool nonetheless. Works Tommy, that's the shop that I visited that does a lot of American cars. I visited them years ago, but now they moved out even further, but or else I recognize that name, the Works Tommy name. I might if I have an old photo, I might post it up of the shop where they had a lot of Corvettes and Camaros there. And this one looks to be a manual. 4-speed manual. And here, I believe this is a 1969. I believe it's a 1969 Corvette with the 427 big block hood or LT1 hood. Inside it is all modded with a 6-speed, it looks like. And a Sniper electric fuel injection system on the engine, and it has a bit of a wide body, so the lip comes out a little bit, and it has the aftermarket bumpers and the aftermarket side pipes. C1, which looks to be race modded to some extent. But a C1 here, I believe 61 or a 62. And something, let me just show you here, is that right over here where it says needs repair and there's the crack, usually that crack is the heat from the carb, so the carb on the fiberglass would end up warping it and cause such cracks. You also see that on the 58, because on the 58 it has those ridges, and even there sometimes cracks would appear. And in 59 that was gone, so whenever you see the hood with the ridges, that would be the 58 only. Maybe we'll see one around, who knows. This is another C3 with a 427 LT1 big block hood or 454 hood, but this I believe could be a 68. Let's see. And this is not a 68 because a 68 does not have a glove box, so this would be maybe a 69. This looks to be a 72, and I know that because these side grills here were not on the 68 and 69s, and it has double metal bumper, so it has the metal front bumper, metal back bumper, so it can't be a 73, it has to be a 72, and it has the manual Very cool. So it's an original 350-380 with the 11-to-1 compression, which means that it was the higher model, and it has the original small block hood as well on it and the original body. It's very cool to see. It looks to be mostly original with the inside like this. And with these cars as well, I believe starting in 69, they would say the spec right over there. So it tells you that it's a 350 engine with the compression ratio 11-to-1, which was the more high-powered small block. And the hood is down, so we can't really see, but it is the more high-powered model. Very interesting to see. You would think I would be able to tell you what year it is, considering I had a 71 big block with 454, but I cannot tell you. Is this the guy we saw yesterday? I think it is. I think this is the one I saw yesterday because he even has the New York plate. What are the chances two of them are like that? I didn't check the plate though. Chevelle SS 396 big block. It's not a clone. 2-door hardtop. Very cool. I believe this is a 66. I wonder if it's the original 396 inside. With the 4-speed manual, this could be a big dollar car. Way too many cars to show, but nonetheless we have another 440 Cuda right here. Very, very nice. The way it looks, aftermarket wheels, aftermarket Cragars, automatic 727. Very cool to see. Even here as well, we have another one. This is another really nice car. I believe this is another 70, and this one I believe is the small block, maybe. We look inside, the 4-speed pistol grip manual shifter. So you see it looks like a pistol grip, and it is a Hurst shifter from the factory. So from the factory you were able to get the 4-speed pistol grip, and not many people order them, and that's why the value of those remains still today very high. Anything with a pistol grip. And it's a 383, or it has the 383 decal. Is the 383 still inside? Is it not? Who knows? I have a friend, Anthony, that if he was here, he'd be able to give me a lot more info on these because I'm not too much of an expert. But here, this is a 440 Cuda, but this is a 446 pack. So we can see over here that it's a 446 pack, which means it has the 3x2 carbs, which is one step under the Hemi when you would order it. And on the inside, it has the column shifter, automatic. So likely the 727 torque flight. Very nice car. And here we have what I believe to be a 70 Dodge Challenger with a 446 pack in my favorite color for the Dodge Challengers. Not a big fan of the vinyl tops, but that's how they were back then. And there's a 4-speed pistol grip on the inside. So this is a 446 pack with a 4-speed. And this is a very sought out combo, is having the 446 pack with the pistol grip. It's once more just one step under the Hemi. The 426 is obviously the holy grail, and we haven't seen any today, most likely won't, but 446 pack, 4-speed pistol grip. I mean, we're basically majority way there. '69 Camaro Z28. These came with the 302 DZ engines and the 4-speed manual. And these are likely the most cloned cars out there, is the 69 Camaro, and they put the Z28 badging on it. And because you can't tell aesthetically if it's an original 302 or not, you would never know. But in this case, it is not a real Z28 because a real Z28 only came with the 4-speed manual. So easy way to immediately knock out if this is a real Z28 or not. It does not have the manual because those only came, the DZ engines came with the 4-speed. It was the 4-speed and Muncie M21, I believe. Or it could even be the M22 Rock Crusher, but Don't Google that. I could be wrong. I'm not certain if the M22 came with... the M22 came in all LS6 models, but did it come in the 69 Z28? I don't know for a fact. This is the style in itself, the patina style, so you give it that look. So all you got to do is just preserve the surface rust. As long as it doesn't perforate through, you just preserve it, and that is the look on its own. Clean C1 Corvette. Definitely a driver, but nonetheless, still a nice car. Once more, there's so many cars here, it's impossible to catch this all on video and put all on a video. There legitimately is over 1,000 cars. It's very easy to believe at this point. Mary Poppins Customs. And this is a 1958 resto-modded Corvette. And you know it's a 1958 because it's the only year that has these two stainless steel moldings in the back, is the 58. And something else as well with the 58 is the only year that has these ridges on the hood. In 1959, it's almost aesthetically identical except for the ridges on the hood over here and the two moldings in the back. And the engine here looks to be a crate engine. It looks to be a ZZ6 that was ordered, and looks like there is headers inside that were installed. A very nice front pulley system. Aftermarket Wilwood disc brakes. And we can see much larger wheels, maybe 18-inch wheels, and you need to put the larger wheels because 14-inch wheels, you can't put disc brakes on them. And these cars, the Corvettes, only came out with the 4-wheel discs starting in 1965. Before 65, it was all drum brakes. So this one has the Wilwood disc brakes, has aftermarket radiator, as well large electric fan, aftermarket suspension system. It's a full-blown resto mod except for the fact that it's not a fuel-injected engine. Apart from that, it's fully resto modded. Potentially even the frame. No, frame looks original. And the interior looks generally original, except at the bottom there's the aftermarket AC system that blends in very nicely. But this car probably always has the top down, therefore that AC is just to cool off maybe your legs and lower body. And even if you do put the top up, it leaks from everywhere. I mean, you put the top up on a C1 and all you're hearing is the wind cutting through. Looks like a Blueprint crate engine. So the block itself is stamped by Blueprint, and the heads are Blueprint heads. So it looks like a crate engine from Summit Racing and directly dropped in. And the firewall in the back has been smoothed out, and they put the mirror-like finish. Usually you do that to better fit parts or just to clean it up, but the whole back firewall is all clean. And the other accessories, they would usually put them in the vehicle somewhere. So maybe here we might see a box, or not even, it could be it's in the trunk. The MSD ignition box and whatever else is used. Or it could be that that's an HEI distributor and it does not need a box. That's what that most likely is. This has 706 heads, which came on the 4.8 and 5.3 LS engines out of the pickups and other vehicles. The thing is with the 706 heads, they have the small chambers, so if you put them on the 6 liter like an LQ4 or LQ9, you'll increase the combustion and get a lot of power just by increasing the compression ratio. But otherwise, they are found on the 4.8 or 5.3 liter engine. Very cool to see. It's 1959, I believe. Here we have another 446 pack in this Belvedere. I believe a 66 maybe? But this is another car with a 446 pack with the automatic column shifter. Very interesting to see. And his license plate is 446.
しでつきそうです。
場所は分かんないけど、あれみたいしか分かんないのよ。あれみたいをプレゼントしております。ぜひですね、ブルーアイズオフィシャル YouTube チャンネル、ブルーアイズリアクション、こちらを、いいね、お気に入り登録して、
Alright guys, it looks like we're going to call it shortly. We did the turn. A few cars have left, not too many. It looks like there truly was over 1,000 cars. We've seen them all. I've made sure that we passed every single lane over and over. We'll see how many of these clips I can fit into the video. Unfortunately, there was copyright music blaring in the background very often, so some clips might either be muted or I'm just gonna have to cut them out completely. We'll see what we could do. And that is our first car show, actual car show, not a car meet, not, you know, just seeing cars on the street. This is our first Japanese car show. Quite interesting, good to see the culture. Even the way they hang out, it's very North American style, where you pull up with the chairs, the tables. It's very North American style. It's very interesting to see, even the way they dress. A few people even, you know, they have the slick back hair. They have that style going on. They have the t-shirts, Summit Racing t-shirts. I'm seeing Holly t-shirts. I'm seeing Pittsburgh Steelers jerseys. I'm seeing all sorts of North American stuff. And this isn't even a North American meet. It's an all-car meet, but it seems like it's very dominated with North American cars. Nonetheless, we'll cut the video here. Thank you guys.